What up and welcome to Rama Screen YouTube channel, and here's my review of sci-fi series The Ark Season 2. Let's rock this. Before I go any further, I'd like to firstly say what was up with all that hate on Season 1? A lot of you guys were bashing it like crazy, and you left some nasty comments on my YouTube video, even accusing me of being a paid shill. You do know that I don't get paid to do this, right? I wish I could do this full time, but sadly, that's never gonna happen. And I remember one commenter said that the show doesn't follow actual physics of space. Physics of space? I mean, what the fuck? What part of fiction in science fiction don't you understand? Maybe you should go buy a box of suspension of disbelief, why don't you? Anyway, now that I've aired my grievances, thank you to Syfy channel for granting me the advanced screeners to the first 3 episodes of this new season 2, and now that I've already watched them, guess what? I am still a fan of the Ark, even more so now than ever before. Boom! Take that, suckers! Show run by Dean Devlin and Jonathan Glassner, the Ark takes place 100 years in the future when planetary colonization missions have begun as a necessity to help secure the survival of the human race. The first of these missions, on a spacecraft known as Ark One, encounters a catastrophic event causing massive destruction and loss of life. With more than a year left to go before reaching their target planet, a lack of life-sustaining supplies, and loss of leadership, the remaining crew must become the best versions of themselves to stay on course and survive. Starring Christy Burke, Richard Fleeshman, Reese Ritchie, Stacey Reed, and Ryan Adams. It goes without saying that this review is mainly for those of you, my fellow The Ark fans, who already know what's up. I mean, I'm not gonna spill spoilers here, but if you have not watched the previous season yet, then you will not be up to speed with what I'm about to disclose here. Now, if you recall, tension was running high between Ark 1 and Ark 15 at the end of last season. Well, it gets even more tense this time around. Some of Evelyn's people want to run away, and in that process, let's just say that Evelyn has a secret explosive contingency plan. I know, I'm speaking cryptically and in a nutshell here, but what I'm getting at is the first episode of season 2 is suspenseful, pulse-pounding, somewhat chaotic but in a good way, and it really shows what kind of leverage that these two butting head leaders have on each other. Episode 2 is a bit of a law and order style. Remember, the Ark is trying to build a society, and they're basing it off of what they grew up with back on Earth. But now they are in space, so there's a bit of a improvisation on their part in terms of their courtroom drama. That said, this episode is nothing short of riveting, and it allows for some of the supporting characters who strongly disagree with Sharon to make their surprisingly compelling arguments. And episode 3 is back to the show's original nature of problem solving again. And I have one word to describe the 3rd episode, and that is electrifying. Enough said. Okay, some of the criticism that you guys had about the previous first season involved the CG quality. Look, I wish I could tell you that the CGI on the Ark had gotten better in season 2, but the truth is, it's pretty much just the same. And personally, I'm not too bothered by it. I understand that we as audiences have seen other bigger budget sci-fi shows and our eyes have gotten used to such quality. And so to come across something like The Ark, you may quickly dismiss it as not keeping up with the times or outdated or maybe 20 years too late, what have you. But I just like watching shows like this, every now and then, sort of like a guilty pleasure thing. It's a comfort food type of content. And it's a bit of a throwback too, to the days when sci-fi was simpler and much easier to digest. I think the acting is just fine and the dialogues hold up just as well. And now that there are new additions, aka new characters joining in from Arc 15, whatever harmony that Sharon and her team have roughly found is now being put to the test all over again by new voices, new opinions, new challenges to their status quo, Yeah, it's never fair to judge an entire season based on just the first 3 episodes, but I am liking what I've seen so far on season 2. The show is still exciting and thrilling, and I'm still invested in the problem solving. I mean, whenever Alicia goes full nerd, you know it's about to go on. Shit's about to get real, you know what I'm saying? And Kelly may have been the villain previously, but now she's more of an anti hero, if you will. The writers are kind of reforming her into more of a tragic victim of her own mommy issue. But what I like about Kelly is that she is devilishly resourceful. Sharon continues to juggle between being idealistic and the ends justify the means sort of a deal. The burden of leadership. If there is one thing that kind of irks me a bit about season 2 is that there seems to be a push to make Sharon and Spencer be some kind of a thing. Look, I get the potential romances are inevitable, especially if you're locked up in a giant metal tube with the same people seeing the same damn faces every day. You know, feelings can develop, but I just feel that it's a bit too early for those two. I'm still enjoying the banters and the back and forth power struggle disagreements between them. I don't think I'm ready yet for that mood to be messed with by lovey dovey sentiments. At this point, I'm cool with only Bryce and Eva knocking boots, while everybody else is focusing on survival mode. So yeah, overall I give the Ark Season 2 the rating of 4 out of 5, another smashingly fun new season. And clearly from how divisive the responses were, or from how divided the audiences were, there is no better example than the Ark for the case of TV opinions are subjective. One man's trash is another man's treasure.